Hello awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to another cast from StarCraft 2. This is going to be ShoWTimE versus Nerchio. So this is again from the HomeStory Cup number 12, which concluded at the end of December of last year, so not too far long ago. So as I usually do, I will go through the players just very quickly. Nerchio, he is on Team Acer and he is from Poland, playing the Zerg player at the bottom left hand side of Orbital Shipyard. On the top right hand side we do have ShoWTimE, who is part of Team Millennium, and he's from Germany. So it looks like there was a bit of a pause there, by the way, in case you're wondering what all the chatter is about. The replays automatically cut out the pauses, so it just shows you game time. So bring up the production tab, see what we have coming up. Nothing out of the ordinary. It does look like there is going to be a hatchery put down here in the forward direction rather than the back one for Nerchio. So he's obviously not expecting any sort of aggression from ShoWTimE. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a third hatchery going down before the spawning pool, to be honest. It is quite standard to start with that at the moment. And are we going to see it? No, we're not. We're going to actually see a spawning pool right after the first hatchery, which is okay. I mean, these days it does appear that because Protoss is so slow to get across the map, they do have the adepts, which are fairly fast, but at the same time they're not that fast, and at the same time also you can't really cause that much damage with them. So one hatchery, one spawning pool, and it does look like he's interested in the third hatchery pretty much straight away. So he probably put down the spawning pool just as a backup, just in case there will be some aggression, so he will be in a position to send out Zerglings. But he does decide to back on out here, just doing a bit of annoying harassment. Just to note, when you start mining onto the mineral field, it's going to screw up the pathing for some of your drones. So as you can see, there was only one drone, two drones taken off it, and then one drone ended up going back onto it, then the second one going back onto it after that. So it delays it by maybe about 3-4 seconds, which might not sound significant, but again, it's all about being annoying the whole time. So he's going to slowly start to saturate the bases here, while ShoWTimE is going to be building his cybernetics core up the top. Just to note, he has 2 gas geysers already fully saturated, and he's starting on his second base. I wonder, is he going to start with something like an Oracle or something? Yes, there we go, we have a Stargate on the way. This will be an interesting one. Now we do have 2 Zealots on the way. Or sorry, 2 Zerglings on the way. This probe, of course, revealing it, and it's going to be visible what's going to be happening. But the Zealot is going to be up in time to block that. Of course, 2 Zerglings can't do anything about that. The probe can get through, Zerglings cannot. And this Stargate, we're going to see what's going to come out of it. Obviously, this is a very rushed one, so he's trying to catch Nerchio off guard. And let's see. Is he going to do anything about it? So looking at this, double extractor here, no extractors as of yet here. This base is almost fully saturated, and we have a Phoenix out. So this potentially going to be just a scout Phoenix, and also maybe to destroy some overlords. I thought that he would get an Oracle out, just do a bit of economic damage, but it doesn't seem to be that popular of a choice. So this one adept standing in front of the gateway could probably take out these Zerglings. But, ooh, interesting. So this probe putting down a pylon here. I assume that this is going to suggest to Nerchio that a third base is going to come up from ShoWTimE, and that's exactly what happens. So while Nerchio might not be 100% sure, this is his main suspicion right now. So he will expect the third base to come up very shortly. Roach Warren is down. And if you notice, a lot of Zerglings being produced right now, pretty much from every one of his bases, except for this one. So I do think that he is going to potentially start to do a bit of aggression now that he sees the third base coming down. He's going to realize at this point that because the third base is on the way, the Protoss player is not going to have a huge amount of units for the next few minutes. Now, 2 drones taken out, 3 drones taken out, gonna take out a 4th one and get taken out himself. Correction, does not get taken out, does manage to blink out using that. Right, and 2 Phoenixes now on the field. Now these are not illusions, just to keep an eye on that. So I wonder how is our Zerg player going to react? There is 3 spore crawlers, as you can see, 1 in each base, just to prevent these from lifting off too many SCVs. And he's also going to be scouting around a little bit. I assume he'll want to take out overlords, which I think is exactly what he did around his base. Did take out those overlords, and the main reason for taking out overlords around your own base is to 1. Prevent scouting, and 2. To prevent Nidus networks. Nidus worms do require vision to start up, so if you don't have overlords around your base, you don't have to worry about Nidus worms. Now, just to note, there is a robotics facility up, or on the way rather. 2 more gateways. And there is Forge with level 1 weapons on the way also. Now, I did see a Twilight Council somewhere, but oh, there it is, it's actually done. So he does opt to improve the Adept weapon rather than Blink. Now, these Phoenixes just being a little bit peculiar around the place. I think they're just scouting out for overlords, potentially trying to supply block Nerchio. So yeah, I think that's exactly what he's doing. Obviously he does get to scout out this hatchery. He's gonna see that this is breaking off, so this is definitely confirming his suspicion that the Zerg player is going macro style. Now we do have 1-1 on the way. And what is this? This is Hydralisk Den. So obviously he wants to deal with these Phoenixes. He's gonna throw down the Hydralisk Den, probably maybe get just a few Hydralisks to deal with them. Honestly, I wouldn't expect ShoWTimE to continue the Phoenix production, simply because their purpose is now fulfilled. They're around the place to destroy any sort of scouting, to destroy overlords, hopefully supply block Nerchio, but you know, once he has 4, they pretty much do that just fine. You don't need any more. Level 2 Protoss ground weapons are on the way. There is an Overseer here. It is probably going to catch a good glimpse of what's going on in ShoWTimE's base. And at this point, ShoWTimE is going to be aware of this. He's going to send, as you can see right here, Phoenixes are quickly on the way to destroy this. The damage has already been done. The Overseer, it has been spotted. It has done all the scouting it needs. Will get taken out, but its purpose is pretty fulfilled. So if there was anything such as possibly any Dark Templars or anything like that, he would have been aware of it. Now, as you can see, this quite big engage here. And that's actually a lot of units. There's a lot of Adepts there. Not super great against Roaches, but pretty good overall. Now, one thing to note is there's 4 Phoenixes here. So the 4 Phoenixes could potentially lift off 4 units at the same time. Now, they're obviously going to be in danger of getting destroyed by the Ravagers, but at the same time, they could basically reduce the amount of damage that Nerchio's units do temporarily. Now, he is just trying around random spore crawlers, basically to catch out any sort of Phoenix flybys. They might seem very random locations, but that's exactly what he needs, just to prevent them from flying into mineral lines, flying them into the base, because they might get through the base and do a bit of scouting, but at the same time they'll get destroyed. So there we go, we do have the Adepts getting destroyed, 2 of them, I mean, getting destroyed, and 2 of them getting lifted off. Now, there is a Hydralisk there here, so could potentially catch this out, doing a bit of damage to his own units with the Corrosive Bile. Does end up destroying all the Adepts. Now, to note, the Warp Prism can warp in more units, so even though he's lost all his Adepts, he'll still be able to warp in more. And this fairly large army is now heading on north. Now, he doesn't want to engage these before the rest of the army is here, just a waste of Zerglings. The army compositions are looking quite nice for both players, actually. I do believe that the Protoss player will come out ahead here because of that Immortal, and as well the Blink Stalker Micro. I do assume he has Blink, he does indeed. So yeah, there is the Infestor. Does have enough for Fungal Growth right now. Popping down the Fungal Growth, catching about 7 Stalkers there. Very good for him, doing a bit of damage, not that much though, gets it sniped. That's a bit unfortunate. There's 2 Immortals on the field right now. The Immortals are going to be pretty much the deciding factor for this army. He's going to want to get a load of Hydras to deal with that. just jumping straight into it. A few force fields going down just to separate out the army, but they continue to push on. They're not scared of this Protoss army at all, catching a few units with fungal growths, and it just happens to be some of the sentries. This is very, very good position for Nerchio right now. He is going to catch off this Immortal. Wow, this is a big miss micro for ShoWTimE, losing some of his units here for free, and also invading this base. So right now, there's going to be a surround here, I believe. The Zerg player is splitting his forces, one going into the natural, one going into this fort base, and a full-on concave. Actually, it's quite a straight line, my mistake. But I do believe that the Zerg player is coming out on top here. He's also inside the expansion here, doing economic damage. 5 probes killed, gonna destroy a warp gate also, just to take that for free. 7 hit points, come on. 7 points. Guys, finish it off. Oh, well that's a bit unfortunate, losing the ability to destroy that warp gate. Now 8 probes destroyed there in total. Let's have a quick look at units lost overall. We have 21 Adepts, 20 Stalkers, 1 Immortal, 5 Sentries, versus a bunch of Zerglings and Roaches. So, arguably, I would say that Nerchio probably came out on top there. He did destroy a big chunk of units from ShoWTimE. These Zerglings coming in here, being put on hold position, basically to just destroy the probes. He doesn't want them to run after any attacking units. 1 photon cannon being also built behind these warp gates, and the way this is built, it basically protects it from being destroyed. And these Phoenixes are still on the field. Let's have a look at how many kills they have. So what's that? A total of about 6, 11, 14. Now flying away just about at the worst time possible when this base is about to get up. A little bit unfortunate, because now Nerchio is going to have that base for free right after scouting. And these Zerglings running right past the units. Now their purpose really is to run into this base and do economic damage. They're not here for anything else. They're not planning on destroying the whole base. Just to kill, potentially also reinforcing units. He could get this Immortal here. He backed it up just on time. Oh, Ultras are now on the field. He doesn't quite have Chitinous Plating ready yet. Actually, he's not even producing it. So that's interesting. Now the Ultras, just to note, they have 500 health. So they're still going to take a while to kill. And his Broodlord's on the way also. So a good response here from Nerchio, just to basically bring out some heavy units, prevent all of the Immortal damage and Stalker damage for as long as possible, while the Broodlords do a bit of damage with the Broodlings. Now, clearing off the debris, I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe he's hoping to fight around here with the Broodlords safely over the high ground. But then again, if the Stalkers do have vision of them, they will probably just jump straight into them. Now in terms of supply count, they're very even right now. The only thing to note though is that Nerchio does have more bases. Now this now gets scouted out by the Phoenixes, very active with them, very good scouting indeed. Let's have a look at what he sees. He doesn't actually see a lot of these buildings. He's not aware of the Lurker Den, and he is aware of this Greater Spire. So he knows there's probably Broodlords on the way. There we go, look at that. Tempest responds, does have Dark Templars also on the way. Now there's 2 Overseers here, so the main army is not going to be touched by the Dark Templars at all. Now let's see how this is going to respond. So a lot of Broodlords here. 5 of them, 6 of them in total right now. Going to be able to do straight damage from the far distance. Not quite safe though, there is Phoenixes right behind him, nuking them away. This is not looking great for Nerchio right now. He's doing a lot of damage, but at the same time he's losing so many units. 14 Mutalisks on the way, hello! 14 Mutalisks. That's quite interesting response considering there's Phoenixes here already, but at the same time, look at all of these ground-only units. If the Mutalisks get at this, it's going to be quite dangerous for them. I assume he's probably going to want a few Corruptors as well, just to deal with the air units. But the Tempest, they actually only do 30 damage versus Mutalisks, so not a huge amount. But there's 4 of them at this point. What I do find strange though is the response of the Tempest versus Ultralisk. I mean, it could have been for Broodlords at the same time, I suppose. But this now starting to rush in here. There is enough of a Protoss presence to ward this off, I think. The Mutalisk flying straight in there. I don't think this is the best option for them. They'd want to back off, do a bit of economic damage at the back. There is... Oh, Lurkers are now in this expansion. They're going to be taking out all of those probes. 6 probes taken out in that, and 11 drones taken off for the Dark Templars right here. So they're also aware of this base going down as well. Definitely wants to cancel that in time. And the Protoss player just steamrolling through the Zerg right now. I think this is it, and there we go. Nerchio is calling GG for that. He does understand that at this point he's not going to be able to reinforce enough in time, and GG's out. So this was game number 1, and that's pretty much it. Hi guys, thank you for finishing this video. This is going to be game number 1 between ShoWTimE and Nerchio. We're going to be moving on to game number 2 of this best of 3 series. We'll see how this ends up finishing up. So my social media links are on the right hand side here. If you want to subscribe, my subscribe link is right underneath my face. Also underneath the video if you want to do that, if you haven't done so already. I'll end this video here. I'll see you in the next video. Good luck. Take care. Bye bye.